si nilikuwa nafikiria umeshamaliza bana Nabiswa ya mambo kama haya mapema. Dad Niels has sent me a rose. Thank you so much. Asante sana. Watu naona watu wanafurahikia live here. Asante sana kwa kujiunga na mimi siku ya leo. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Kenyan Historian here on TikTok and here on YouTube. Asante sana. We are here on YouTube, we are here on TikTok live. So wale mko TikTok, asante sana, karibu sana kwa kujiunga. Mwagura anasema hi mambo vipi? Hali kwa namna gani? Asante sana. Remember to share this live. Remember to share this live. Thank you so much. On YouTube we have good photography. We have Joe, Mad Boy. Asante sana. People are still coming in. We are still welcoming you. Thank you so much. Today we are going to discuss many things. Part of them we are going to discuss what is happening in Tanzania. Our neighbors, majirani ni kama wameamua, wanasema kwamba lazima watafuata nyayo. Nimeona kwamba kuna mambo mengi ambayo yanafanyika kule Tanzania. Tumeweza kuona kwamba vijana wengi wamejitokeza, ingawaje serikali nayo imesema lazima igonge watu vichwa. Tumeona kwamba curfew inaendelea huko Tanzania, tutawajuza tu, lakini kwanza ninaendelea kuwakaribisha. Good evening Jack Otieno Akeo. How are you Jack? How are you doing? Matt Tech anasema hi Sikolia. Hi. Mambo vipi Matt Tech? Matt Gulam anasema ni, how do you pronounce it? Is it Gulam? It's hard. Hello. Nexus K says hi historian. Hello Menexus. Mick Kaisido. You Kaisido wale wa Chelsea kweli? Anasema hello historian. Mimi pia niko locked. Thank you so much for locking in. Thank you so much. Watching from Washington State. Asante sana. Tuko na watu wanatoka mbali. Wengine wamesema hi Sikolia, hello Amkiro. How are you? The Kenyan historian 100%. Thank you so much. By the way, tell me, have you guys watched our documentaries on Raila Odinga? We did quite a number of them. So if you really want to understand who Raila Odinga was, just go on our YouTube channel. We have a documentary on the life and times of Raila Amolo Odinga. It's a 1-hour documentary. It looks into the life of Raila Odinga. You will understand who Raila Amolo Odinga was. Probably many people did not understand the man. The man was an enigma. Those who knew him walisema hungemjua. Fanya ya Kibaki bana. Ya Kibaki iko. Wewe ndio huja type Kibaki, the Kenyan historian, you will see Kibaki. We've already done, I think we've done all our presidents, but we are reworking on more in-depth stories now on our presidents, and one is dropping soon. It's quite amazing. I can tell you that the documentary is wow. So remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember to like. Remember to keep watching, because we are bringing in more documentaries. Baba may continue to rest in peace. Yes. You know, just like many people, some of us, we interacted with Baba, still in shock. I am still in shock that we no longer have Baba. He was love him, hate him. Raila Odinga did a lot for this country, and he deserves a peaceful rest. I say what the celebration, I think people celebrated his life. You check from the JKIA, those who went to Kasrani. Yes, it was a little bit chaotic, but you see when there are many people, and then there are quite some delays, it was bound to happen. Asante sana. Good evening bwana historian. Maranga Mangi anasema good evening. Asante sana. Fanya Kibaki, hiyo nilikuwa nimemjibu. Iko, but again we are working on those documentaries to make them even better. The ones that are coming up, you will hey Abdul Latif Fatima, can I bless you with something small? There's no problem, Abdul Latif. I will appreciate. We really appreciate any support that anyone gives us. We have our number there on our profile, especially on our YouTube profile. If you wish to support us, the number is there where you can actually support us. So thank you so much in advance, Abdul. It's Abdi Latif or Ladif. The D, yeah, or the ones I've made Abdi Latif, but this one is Abdullah Dif. Thank you so much, bro. I really appreciate you. That was a wonderful documentary. May Baba's soul rest in peace. Thank you so much. By the way, I'm talking about Brian Ruto. Brian Ruto says he watched the documentary on Baba and it's amazing. I also watched Wanasemanga sometimes sikujipigia debe, lakini sometimes there is a someone who said kama hakuna mtu anakupigia trumpet, you blow it yourself. So I'm blowing it myself. Kindly watch our documentary on Baba. It's called The Times and Life of Raila Amolo Odinga. It's more than an hour, and it's amazing, on the Kenyan Historian YouTube channel. Sabari daughter anasema Enoch Sikolia NTV. Nilitoka huko kitambo. Bado unakumbuka NTV. Thank you. Now, amazing stuff. Can we a little bit, do you have a question on what is happening in Tanzania? Do you have a question on Baba's last journey, the burial and the ceremony that was there? It was amazing for me. I loved it because Raila was given a send-off that he really deserved. I interacted with Raila Amolo Odinga many times. Some of the top leaders I interacted with most was Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta, and I can tell you, Raila Odinga was a different species of a man, because I remember the first time I met Raila Odinga, or the first time I interviewed Raila Odinga, I had just joined media, so I was this junior reporter at NTV, and then I got a chance to, we went for a press conference, and Raila Odinga was there, and I was working on a story, so I approached Raila Odinga and I told him, Nyaje, I have this story and I would love to interview. I was, it was a wild chase. It wasn't like, in fact, I thought in my mind, I was like, he would say, wewe ni nani? Because this is a man who was being interviewed by the who and who in journalism, the who and who in media. So I was like, sijui kama atasema yes or no. And when I asked him, akaita his communication guy, anaitwa Dennis Onyango. Then he told Dennis Onyango to schedule for me an interview the following week on Thursday. I didn't believe it, but the interview happened. So this was a man who was giving everyone an equal chance. Whenever you approached him, he didn't want to know how big or small you are. For him, approach, so long as ukutane na yeye, he will give you a listening ear. And since then, I interviewed Raila Odinga for quite some time. I had different stories that I did while I was at NTV, at Citizen. I did quite a number of documentaries. I remember I wrote on my Facebook after his demise that I've just realized that I had done a lot of stories and documentaries on Raila Amolo Odinga. So those of you who are joining in now and you haven't watched our documentary on Raila Odinga, kindly go there, right there, and watch. Now, a little bit of what is happening in Tanzania. So I will begin by saying my experience of Tanzania. Tanzania is a different Tanzania is a different ball game. When we talk about rights and freedoms. Sometimes I remember the first time I went there. I went to Tanzania and went to do a story in Tanzania was the 2015 election, the election that brought in Magufuli, John Pombe Magufuli, the late John Pombe Magufuli, to come to Tanzania. No, John Pombe Magufuli. Now that election that you remember, John Pombe Magufuli versus Lowassa. So I was in Tanzania and I looked at it. It looked more a little bit open like today, unlike today. Today many journalists haven't been accepted there. Still multimedia via helicopter. I don't know. No, I don't know what you're saying there. Hi, I hear Samia has has fled from the State House. How true is it? From my sources, I'm not in Tanzania, I'm in Kenya, but from my sources, she hasn't fled. Looking at it, you have to understand Tanzania. Tanzania, as it is today, it's a CCM like. You remember the KANU days of 1980s. Tanzania is still the way they do things, the way CCM run things, and the way CCM has brought in a lot of, and especially this one has escalated during Samia's time. Wakati wa Moi, ilikuwanga ngori bro. Ilikuwanga ngori kwa sababu wakati wa Moi, if you remember very well, ulikuwa hata kutaja jina la Moi ilikuwa problem. So my story of Tanzania goes back, as I was explaining, to 2015. So when I went there for the election is when I realized just how political machinations and everything was entrenched, and just how they were still, in terms of democracy, Tanzania was still more of a dictatorial state. I remember that time the crackdown on the opposition was there. It wasn't like today. Today escalated. It's on another level. But you could tell. And when you look at it in the history now, I was relating it with Kenya. Mambo Kenya yalikuwa yamebadilika, tulikuwa tumesonga mbele. Lakini jamaa walikuwa bado kule. Huwezi zungumza tu. Sisi tulikuwa na habari, lakini kuna maneno hatungetaja. Kuna mambo ambayo unabebwa. So someone was asking me why I was not there. Nasemaje? Why I haven't gone to Tanzania. Hey, Tanzania was not even accrediting independent journalists, or let me just say journalists from outside. It was, even just Tanzanian journalists let me say Tanzanian media has been, it's a repressive way of doing things in Tanzania. That one I can tell you without fear of contradiction. The Tanzanian media is not free. Now, can you imagine now, if they have done that to Tanzanian media, you would think would have been accredited to, because now, for you to work in Tanzania as a journalist, you must be accredited. You must be accredited. You must have. It's like you are going to the US. Yeah, I've gone to Tanzania many times to do stories, but sometimes it's just hectic. I remember there was a time I went to Tanzania. I went to a place called Kilwa. So I was going to do a story on Kilwa Kisiwani. Kilwa Kisiwani is more or less like Gede Ruins. But Kilwa Kisiwani was on another level. It was a city that was very powerful during the medieval periods. It was the Africa's, let me say, arguably Africa's richest city of those days, of those times. It would, when you talk about trade of gold, slave trade, and everything that was happening on Kilwa Kisiwani. So when I was going there, I had the approval of State House. State House had State House had approved niende, nikaenda mpaka Tanzania, nikafika mpaka Kilwa. Kufika mpaka Kilwa nilisimamishwa na chifu. Chifu alinishikilia for 2 hours, no filming. Now very serious. Like it called for the intervention of a military guy. You know, it's a port there and it's one of the entries into Tanzania. So there's a military guy who came in and he's like, I don't see any problem if he has the approval of State House and he has the approval of the various ministries involved in certain projects in Tanzania, and especially some of the projects I was going to cover. For example, I was going to cover they were constructing a fishing port. So I went to cover the construction of a fishing port there, and I was like, why am I going through the hassle? So that is Tanzania for you. And I don't know what happened, because I arrived in Tanzania in less than 20 minutes. Not in Tanzania, in Kilwa. You know, Kilwa is a long distance from Dar es Salaam. So I arrived in Kilwa, and chifu plus police officers are on us. Washajua kuna wageni wameingia mtaani, washaambiwa. Huko sasa, it's Kenya in those years. You remember those years wele tulikuwa tunasema lazima ujui ni nani unazungumza nayo. Tanzania are at that level today. Ile ma 1980s when I was young, when I was a young boy, ile time tulikuwa naogopata kutaja jina Moi. Now, Tanzania, ukitaka kujua wewe Tanzania go back to Kenya's many years during the Moi's dictatorial or authoritarian government. Those days when everyone was NIS. When everyone was NIS. Thank you so much, Kevin. Kevin has joined. Sorry guys. Hizi maphones zinarukaruka. Ni masimu natumia. Nilikuwa hapa nikaamua tu kwenda live na masimu. Asante sana guys. Poleni, sasa zinaanguka. Then is stabilize. What will hold it for me here? Wait. Yeah. Something to hold this one for you. Why didn't I think long time ago that this one can hold it? Thanks guys who are liking. TikTok tumefikisha 1.3 likes. YouTube, remember to like guys. Wale mko YouTube, remember to like. Verify all your reports tafadhali. Ni sawa vile unasema bro. Watching from Kisumu, Dallas. Story iko top notch. Thank you so much Jack Akeo, asante sana. Here to support, asante sana. Nani huyo? Weekly Foreigner, my best historian TMB. Thank you so much TMB. Thank you so much for joining in. Someone says, yeah, TZ in Moi era. Someone said a documentary about Turbi massacre. In massacre gani, bro? Turbi? I've never I know of Wagala massacre, but this Turbi, is it Turbi or Tarbi? I haven't heard of it. You can inbox me on my WhatsApp line. Umejita anonymous, so I can't tell. So you can inbox me, and then we see what we can do. Someone is asking if Tanzania can sustain this pressure and everything. I can't tell. You know, you never know what really. I didn't think, for example, guys in Msumbiji, the Mozambicans, I didn't know that they could reach to the levels they did, and even when I told you, the wanajeshi came on board. I didn't, but looking at it, it reached that level. So you never can tell what will happen in the next few days in Tanzania. But the pressure is still on. They are still pressing. Let me tell you one thing about the Tanzanian people I know, and I'll go back to 2015. Where do we get that WhatsApp line? My WhatsApp line is on my profile on YouTube. Check on my profile, you'll see there is a line there. 0759522513. You'll find there is that line there. You can WhatsApp me. So I was saying, when I went to cover the 2015 presidential, let me say general election in Tanzania, what I saw was totally different from what I'm seeing today. Things do change. I remember there was a time that those times and that year, I went to several polling stations and people did not have, like for example, you have a voter's card, but you don't have, you are not, your name is not in the voters register. So, you know, technically you cannot vote. You have a voter's card, you have your ID, but you cannot vote. So I remember I asked one of those guys, some of the people that I found in those stations, and there were not few people, there were many people. So nikauliza, sasa mtafanya nini na mmeweza kuzungumza na mtu yote kutoka tume ya uchaguzi? Wakasema kwamba sasa sisi tumekuja tukapata kwamba hakuna majina yetu hayapo kwenye sajili ya wapiga kura. Sasa tufanye nini sisi? Tuende nyumbani tukasubiri matokeo. Na si mtu mmoja, watu wengi. Na nikajua basi hawa jamaa wanapenda amani, kwa sababu nikaanza kuimagine hizo scenarios in most of African countries that have covered elections in, it could turn bad, and in most cases it turns bad when you find now a huge population of people are missing either their names or whatever in the voters register. Most of the times it changes. Hopefully all is well. Uko live na shut down aje ya TZ. No, I'm not in Tanzania. If you check very well, I've just written I'm in Kenya. I'm in Nairobi. Tanzania, most journalists were not accredited to go and cover from outside. Were not. So most journalists are just going outside. Tuna parambile tu kuinje tu and using our contacts in Tanzania to see what is happening and to get to tell the stories of what is happening in Tanzania. And I'm telling you, it's a different picture in Tanzania. From the Tanzania I know to the Tanzania that I'm seeing, the Tanzania that I'm hearing about, from my contacts and from the pictures and videos we are getting from Tanzania, you get it and you are like, you know what, this is different Tanzania. Unajua Kenya huwa tunasema, wa Tanzania huwa tulia tu, wanasema sasa tufanye nini? Hata mimi mwenyewe nimeshuhudia wakisema tufanye nini sasa, lakini wakati huu wamesema hawataki. You know, someone was saying was a dictator, but Mama has taken it to another level. Yeah. Just hold on, guys, a little bit. I want to talk to someone who's calling me on that line that I'm using. Asante sana Daniel Kimondu, karibu sana. Okay, si mtu akikata. Sasa unaona tunakata kwa sababu I'm using that line. Sasa umegongwa na gari. Umegongewa wapi? Kwani huko umefika nyumbani? So amesema nini? Mwenye amekugonga ameenda ama yuko? Kwani imejikunja? Sasa waje, bado niko ofisini. Okay. Haya. Poleni sana. Hassan has retracted his message. Asante sana, can't you send drones? Drones, you know, kuna sheria za drones, you can't. Sasa hata drone goes for 2 kilometers bana. Utaenda sasa wapi? Drone itaenda mpaka wapi? Hii drone si za military peke yake ndio zinaenda mbali. Drone za camera zinaendanga 2 kilometers. So kilometers ni hapa tu, hata haijafika hata haijafika industrial area maybe. Wow, where did you go? I'm in this town. Ameita Madam Fear God. Asante sana. Niko hii town. I'm doing some few things hapa na kule. So nani mwingine hapa? Let me reply a little bit. Alice, asante sana. Thank you so much. Thank you for those who are coming in. Thanks for liking. Kindly continue to like, continue to share. Huyu ni mama wa Kamba, Fred Nyamosi. Larry Mado was blocked too. Journalists were blocked from foreign journalists were blocked. No entry. Please do a documentary on the 1998 bomb blast. I did. It's already on the timeline. It's already. If you search Cox, if you search on my YouTube, you will watch the Kenyan historian utapata. Utapata the 1998 bomb blast. I did. See, at least urudi kwa TV. Ninafanya hapa kwa YouTube, ninaona tu kwanza niko sawa. We are trying to make it even bigger. So shikilia hapa, I'm Steward. And YouTube channel will subscribe. We are going to do many amazing stories and documentaries. Since I watched Konza documentary, I told myself one day I will stay here. Oh, nice. That's good. I'm happy that when we did the documentary, we were able to see. Alanis, hello. How are you, Alanis? How are you doing? Thank you so much. Lily, asante sana. Where did you go? I'm here on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. Oh, this one is TikTok. YouTube is here. I'm on YouTube and I'm on TikTok. The Kenyan Historian on YouTube and TikTok. You will find me. Nita's Fashion House. Sikoli. How are you, Nita? Nita's Fashion House. How are you doing? Kuna mtu ananitumia hapa message hata ieleweki. Hiyo ni ya Kijerumani ama sijui wapi. Philomen Ruto anasema Nicolo Rook. Karibu. Nikifika huko nitakwambia Philomen. Nikifika huko, I'm still planning to do some stories on from those sides. Nitakwambia when I'm coming. Fred Nyamosi anaamua huyu ni mama wa kambo. Anasema Miguna for president. You never roll out anyone. Ndio naona Kapedo massacre. Kabisa deno. Share. Ukishaona una share. Hadi kijana umetoka mbali. Wewe ndio waacha bwana. Didn't know you are on TikTok, Lakeman. Niko kidogo na Baba Yanga 123. Thank you so much, by the way, for joining in. Anyone who has joined in and tuned in today on my YouTube channel and here on TikTok and YouTube, thank you so much. Watu wa YouTube ndio hawa, nikiangalia hivi naangalia YouTube, nikiangalia hivi naangalia TikTok. So tuko hivyo, tunaendelea hivyo. Vipi bro, mshindi ni nani? according to the results that I'm getting, the margin between Samia and the second person iko hivi, world apart. It's like land and manasemanga heaven and earth. The difference is so huge. Back you. Umesema Hussein Isa, umesema nini? So in Tanzania, Mama, from the look of things, it will be declared the winner. She will be declared with the winner. And look at it. According to the court, the Tanzanian judiciary, once the Electoral Commission announces the results of the presidential election, no court can look into it. It's done, finished. So hakuna kama hii Kenya tunaenda siku ngapi kotini tusikize kesi tuone kama maybe watasema hot air or whatever. At least sisi tunapatanga hot air. Huko hakuna maneno ya hot air. Unaona huko hakuna maneno ya hot air. You see, unaona Tanzanians will keep quiet if Samia wins. You see, what normally happens if, for me, from how I see things, when there is a sustained push, it continues. But mkiacha tu kupush hivi imeenda. For now, probably from where I'm looking at, they might just after the election then start pushing for changes, which I'm not sure if it will happen. Ronald TV, how are you? Amesema, by the way, Enoch Life, ile barabara ya Uthiru 87 imetengenezwa after expose yako. Your voice was heard loud and clear. Congratulations. Asante sana. Thank you so much. Things I would love to hear, because at the end of it all, we just don't do stories for the sake of it. My hope is that I do stories that impact on the life of the people, because that's why I am a journalist, is to be the voice of the people. And I hope that this voice can even be amplified more, and can only be amplified more if you continue subscribing to my channel, if you continue watching my documentaries. Because when you watch now, the government will know that, hey, enyewe, this guy, watu wanamsikiza, and he's hitting the stories, the right stories about the people, going by exactly what is happening. Unaona? Abdiz Koki Nazaraki. Ni Nazaraki. How are you, Nazaraki? Sema historian, sema, how are you doing? Yeah, uko fiti. Is Tanzanian army protecting protesters in Tanzania? No. They are not there to protect protesters. They are actually to chase protesters from the streets. You see, look at the scenario that happened in Kenya. Kenya is more, when you look at progressive politics, Kenya is more progressive in terms of our politics, in terms of our democracy as compared to Tanzania. Tanzania is more retrogressive. It has been retrogressing in the last few years. Hey, was it Nikujie? Will you make a documentary about this government and the inclusion of the Sudan massacre? We don't just do documentaries. We do research. So I will do research on it, find clues and find supporting evidence. So first of all, what we normally do before we do a documentary is we do research, we find clues, we find documents, supporting documents, and if, for example, something happened in Parliament or wherever, or we have court documents, or we have immigration documents, as we say. Because if we get immigration documents, then we can support. I know the UN has talked about something about ndege kupita. Ndege vile zilikuwa zinapita. So I don't know, it's not directly linking Kenya. But according to the UN report, there are flights that will come from United Emirates and then end up in Central Africa Republic, where the camp is, and then fund the RSF, give them money, give them guns, something like that. So the best thing of doing that story is trace the movement from UAE and everything. So it's something now I look at it. You've opened up my mind. I will have to look at it. Rose Kabaria. Hey, how are you, Rose Kabaria? Bro, we don't have much of the oratory speeches of Kijano Wamalwa anyway, and this gem. Yeah, most of the things, I normally try to get around. I will try and see, because I don't have a library that has those things. So sometimes we request from places. Sometimes we buy materials from places, quite expensive. But if we get a clue, we will piece together. We have very few. I have very few myself. Maybe I just have the one on the day that Mwai Kibaki was endorsed as a NAC's presidential candidate. You remember when he talked about the horse race. People talk about 2 horse race, they don't know who brought the 2 horse race was brought by Mike Wamalwa Kijana, when he was saying it's a 2 horse race. And when he looks, the only way Kibaki, no, he said actually 1 horse race. And the only way that Kibaki will be defeated is by the horse itself falling. Yeah, if you remember very well. And Michael Kijana Wamalwa was on another level. Remember, he's the only one who used a non-parliamentary word and survived, and he was not ejected from parliament. The unbogable, when he used the word unbogable, and they said it was not a parliamentary, it was neither English nor Kiswahili. You know what Wamalwa Kijana said? He said, English, like any other language, is a growing language, and new words are bound to pop up here and there. And the speaker was taken aback. He was like, he didn't even understand what Wamalwa had said, and akaka. So, tuko 2.4 thousand likes. So tufikishe 3,000 likes here on TikTok. Now hapa wa YouTube, we are not liking it. Can we like it? We are many live, but we are not liking. Kindly like this live this like event. Asante sana. Thank you so much. Now I've seen new likes coming in on TikTok. Watu wa TikTok mnanifurahisha. Asante, Mungu awabariki sana. Danaris, asante sana. Mrs. Koli, ulienda wapi? Ulikuwa ripoti wa nguvu. Niko hapa kaka Shehe Diwani. Ama ni Diwani Shehe, ama ni Shehe Diwani. Shehe Diwani. Nipo bana. Ukija pale YouTube tafuta The Kenyan Historian, utanipata. Utapata documentary zangu ziko pale. Nashukuru sana. Hapo ndipo nilipo. Gonga like pale. So asante sana Shehe. You are a great man. Thank you so much. Danaris, asante sana Danaris. Thanks for liking. Asante sana those who have been sending in gifts. Asante, God bless you. What about Sudan? Are you preparing something? I did for a TV I also work for. I also work for a TV called CGTN. So I did that one for Sudan. You can check it out. It was a small thing. Sudan, I've been looking for contact on some of the big things I'm yet to find. There is an angle that I want to pursue for Sudan, which I hope it will unfold soon. That one for a deeper understanding of the story. So there are various countries I'm looking at doing documentaries. The problem is when I do documentaries on different countries, you guys don't watch. You only watch Kenyan documentaries. Nimefanya Museveni pale, imeshinda hapa miaka sijui ngapi. Haijawahi songa sana. Niko hapo ya anaitwa nani? Anaitwa huyu jamaa anaitwa nani? Paul Biya. Iko tu 20,000. Mbona tusifikishe hata 50,000? Also watch African documentaries wa Kenya. Tunajipenda sana, tuna watch tu. Unajua majority, I know majority of my followers here, you guys are Kenyans. But also watch some of the things that are happening in Africa. We are trying also to touch, as we do our stories, we also do the we don't live in isolation. We are on this continent. Whatever happens in DRC affects us. Whatever happens in South Sudan affects us. Whatever happens in Sudan affects us. So, tafadhali. I created the word in a standing, and it's unstoppable. It means to know God purpose inside oneself. Ras. Thank you so much, Ras. Hapa kuna nani naona? Truststone Properties. Mimi lazima nikupe like bro. Asante sana bro. Thank you so much. Thiongo, asante sana Thiongo. Hi, big fan, love your history videos. Asante sana mwalimu wa code. Ni mwalimu wa smile, you are worth it. Thank you so much Cecily. Asante sana Cecily. Thiongo amesema tutawatch. Asante sana Thiongo. Wewe shehe bwana, unaharibu jina langu bwana. Shikoria. Jina langu si Shikoria. Jina langu ni Sikolia. Haina shi. Ni Sikolia. Rono TV anasema the unbogable. Yes. YouTube, I understand Kevin. Hiyo like, nataka wale hawaja like Kevin. Najua wewe ume like. The people who are yet to like, kindly like. Kwa sababu hizo likes zinafaa zikuwe more than 100. Ziko tu hapa 38. Thank you. Watu wa YouTube, tufikisha 100. Asante sana. Haya, TikTok tumefikisha 3.1 tukasimama. Tufikisha sasa 4,000. Tufikisha hapo 4,000. Na remember, kama wewe ni mgeni hapa, tafadhali hapa TikTok, follow me. Remember, follow me. Ninajua nilikuwa na watu wangapi kabla niende live. Tafadhali, kama hujanifollow, nitafeel vibaya. Ni follow. Just follow me kindly. These numbers are very, very important for something we are trying to work on. Let me tell you, I will not tell you what we are trying to work on. We've been trying to look for funds. Watu wana, unajua, Kenyans don't like funding their own. They will rather bring in someone to tell their story. That's what I've come to realize, by the way. Many organizations, many Kenyan organizations and whatever, even government institution. And sometimes you approach this organization, Kenyan organizations, and you're like, you know what, let's partner and tell the story. And especially those who are involved in some areas, some of the things. Like the story we have, the idea that we have will bring more than 47 episodes. Let me tell you, it's a series and it will be amazing. I've approached several organizations. I pitch. They like the idea, but then they disappear. You might put your frustration. You're like, they like the idea, you know. They even say we need a new meeting, another meeting, and whatever, and then guys disappear. Wanakuacha hapo kwa mataa. Yeah, but one day, I believe that one day God will open a door. And wale wamekataa wale hawaja swim na hiyo idea, I know they will come. Watasema, oh, can we? Because you know what? Why? When I started the Kenyan historian, I remember I approached not when I started. I remember I had done it for some time. So I think I had like 10,000 subscribers or less. I think 10 or less. So I went to this building that is being constructed here at Upper Hill. You know, it was 880 or something. The tallest apartment, the one that will be the tallest apartment in Kenya. So I went there and I went to pitch to do a documentary for them. And remember that time, free of charge. I was not even charging anything. I was not even asking for them to fuel my car. I was not even asking them. I was just coming to do the story. And the guys told me, "Auna numbers." You know, it hurt me, but ni sawa tu. Nikaamua kusonga. It's a journey. It's what happened, by the way. It really happened. if when you are starting something, don't give up. You will meet all those bumps. You will have a great idea. You know this idea will work. Whatever. You approach the people you would love to partner with. Unakwama. Mtu anakuangalia anakuambia, but hauna numbers. Uko na 2000. Ama hata hujafikisha 2000, maybe uko na 100. But sometimes unachianga God, not sometimes, most of the time, because vile God anaangalianga lazima tu mipango yake ifanyike. Kama alipanga kwamba you will be successful, you will be successful no matter what. Lazima utakuwa sawa. Someone amesema nililana kutell political stories inspiration into huko. Mimi ni happy mwanafu. Thank you so much. Safi sana, tunashukuru. I'm happy to hear that. Keep pushing. Keep pushing. We are also pushing. It's not that tumefika. We know that we still have a long way. We want to improve in many areas. There are many areas we need to pump up, and we believe we will do. You see, we believe that we will do. Higher. And I shall start watching from today. I love documentaries. You know, documentaries by Hilary Ngweno. Thank you so much, bro. Yeah, keep watching. Hilary Ngweno used to do for for NTV, and they were amazing. Sasa wananiambia knock. Nisi knock, ni knock. Mimi sisemangi sikolia. Hapana wewe. Mimi nasema tu Enoch Sikolia, the Kenyan historian. I am Enoch Sikolia, and I am the Kenyan historian. I don't drag that one, not me. Kazi safi, keep the content coming. Funny, I landed a subcontract there. Wapi? Pale Konza City ama wapi? Kazi yako ni safi mkuu. Don't give up. Asante sana Buchichi. Buchichi. Is it Buchichi or Bushishi? Because depending on where someone comes from, there are those who will say Bushishi, the others will say Buchichi. But thank you so much. Exorbitant, thank you so much. Tunafika 3.2. Wacha tufikie 4,000 likes on TikTok. Watu wale mko TikTok, kindly. Na uja like, continue liking. Na kama uko pale na haujani follow, tafadhali follow me. I'm kindly requesting. Asante sana Mwasa, asante sana Jen Midhamu, asante sana kila mtu ambaye anajiunga nami, nasema asante vile inafaa. The Kenyan Historian is a great show. Thank you so much Sami Kandu. I really appreciate. Watch me out. Anasema kazi safi wanzee, Enoch, always following and watching. But next time ukitembea Magadi niambie utembee. Tutembee. Uko best in Magadi ama maheba. Sorry yo. Uko best in Magadi. Watch me out. Or you would love to go to Magadi. No, I may not. I don't know if I'll go back to Magadi, but you know, Kenya destinations are many. If you want, but if you're based in Magadi, maybe kuna story idea yenye tunaweza enda kufanya huko. Yeah, I think I'm still planning. I'm still working on something maybe that will endelea hapo. Big up bro. We are kwa Magadi. Yeah, probably you can do this. You can WhatsApp me. My number is there on the profile. My WhatsApp number is there. I can save your number. You WhatsApp me, tell me mtu wa Magadi, then I save your number, and then one day when I plan to come there, I'll tell you. Kuna mtu anasema hapa, I was in Magadi the other day and where the road. Hawajaunda. I thought walianza kuunda, lakini I think I saw wameanzia pale Magadi Road pale Galleria, maybe watafika. Yeah. Tembea Talanta Stadium, but now we are working on it. Talanta Stadium is coming out soon. Now finally we are almost there. Talanta Stadium, I know many people have been asking about Talanta Stadium. It will come out very, very soon. Probably you tell me what you want to know about Talanta Stadium. you email me or you WhatsApp me and tell me what you would love to know about Talanta Stadium. We are almost getting a through pass kuingia pale. Sorry, I was just checking something, and I'm a good photographer pia. Sawa bro, tutaangalia. Unajua we are trying to we are still not yet there, but we one day maybe to expand, alafu tuseme can you be helping us somewhere. Mimi bado nafikiria what I can do with this channel. Niko na numbers but earns 0. Annie, let me tell you, this is what I tell people. When you start YouTube na idea kwamba you want to make money, you will be disappointed. You'll really, unless you are doing kuna watu wanaunda pesa, especially if you are using the list of budgets, yeah, 0 shillings nini. Ile ya kuita mtu unapiga unamuuliza maswali, huyu amesema nini, uende kwa mwingine, huyu amesema nini. It's easy for that, can make money. And you but sometimes YouTube does not bring what you're pumped in. It doesn't. So if you're coming to YouTube, it should be more like it's a platform where you just post what you do. Okay, kuja na mentality, especially for those who are doing documentaries and those who are doing hard stuff, stuff that take time to be produced. You may never recoup, and most of the times you don't recoup what you put in. Yeah, you can put in 200,000 shillings to produce a documentary. Then the documentary gives you 5,000. I'm telling you, true story. But the people are mentioning those who do short interviews and those who just concentrate on interviews, those ones make money. For example, you spend 1,000, maybe fuel, to just go to a place where you're going to do an interview. You interview someone, then it gives you 5,000. You made 4,000 from one video. You made a profit. Yeah. If sometimes even a video can only give you 1,000 or even 500, and it's done, and you've spent like 100K, 200K, some stories 50K. So and they may never come. So if you join from the word go, Kevin, with the hope that you are coming to make money, first of all, build a community. This is what I normally say. The most important thing is build a community. Have people who believe in what you do. Have consistency of what you do. I don't have myself a lot of consistency, like sometimes but that is the best way to go. Yeah? Mumenitoa mpaka kwa mambo ya Tanzania bwana nyinyi. Lakini tushamaliza kwa sababu for now what I understand in Tanzania, what is happening is the curfew, the military are on the streets, and there have been military and police convoys have been moving around in Tanzania just to keep things in check. Gen Z huko wamesema wataki mchezo, wataki mzaa, wamechezewa sana. Kuna mtu anasema jambo Kenya, I'm always inspired by your videos on my YouTube too. Oh, thank you so much. Moving well, asante sana. Which kind of content do you do? Kenya without Raila, so challenge Ruto, you not coming vividly, especially on the edges of potential presidential candidates. Kenya without Raila, so challenge Ruto. You not coming vividly, especially on the are in 70s things, so diverting. I haven't understood what you've said, Wafula. Can you rewrite nielewe? Maybe kizungu yangu ndio iko chini. Or maybe would I make straight what you want to say? I don't know if I've understood you. Like, kitu naona ni kama unataka kusema stories za kina Kalonzo, Mudavadi, Wetangula, potential presidential candidates in 2027, because right now all the looks are 2027. Mudavadi and Wetangula, they are not vying in 2027 unless they that one I am sure Mudavadi and Wetangula are not vying in 2027 because they are in Ruto's camp and Ruto is going for term 2. Sio hata wanasema 2 term. Wanasema hivyo, wanashinda wakisema 2 term. So, wakisema 2 term, it simply means that they are not vying. So maybe if you say Kalonzo is a presidential candidate, potential presidential candidate in 2027. So is Matiang'i, so is Maraga, yeah, and others who might pop up, yeah. But for Gachagua, you know, there is still a legal issue there, given that he was impeached. According to the Kenyan law, he cannot hold a public office for the next 10 years. That's from 2024. That means until 2034. 10 plus 2024 plus 10, yeah, 2034, which means 2 elections will go by. If you want to understand, look at Mike Sonko. When he was impeached, he tried to vie in 2020, never succeeded. He went to court after court, so they played ping-pongy until, is it ping-pongy? Until the time for elections who are there and came and passed and Sonko was out. So he was just locked out. So we wait and see, because the first thing is you have to overturn the case, the impeachment by the Senate, which I think it's unlikely to happen. So probably Gachagua might be might play like someone who will support an opposition presidential candidate. So he'll be behind someone, not as a running mate, but as a mobilizer. One of the corners during Raila's 2007 presidential race, the Pentagon. You see, the corners of the Pentagon, the likes of Joe Nyaga, the likes of Najib Balala, the likes of William Ruto, Musalia Mudavadi. They were the corners of the Pentagon that was the key organ that was pushing for Raila's candidature. So looking at it from the names you have given there, Kalonzo Musyoka is the only one there who looks like a potential presidential candidate. Wetangula and Mudavadi are likely to remain behind William Samoei Arap Ruto. Nasikia Samia ametolewa lakini Suluhu bado anateta juu ya uchaguzi. Kutolewa kwa uchaguzi, hilo si sahihi kwa sababu kulingana na ripoti ambazo nimepokea, Samia Suluhu anaongoza kwa asilimia kubwa tunavyozungumza. It's a big margin. Heaven and earth. So hilo si sahihi. I think I love your work. Or you think or you do? Nyamongo, asante sana lakini nimekuelewa. Asante sana Francis Nyamongo, thank you so much. Ukienda Talanta, unganisha na historia ya zile stadium zingine nchini. Thank you. Are you monetized to yourself? Yeah, you can't. Well, once you hit 1,000, you can monetize your channel. It's good you do that. Ati Samia ako chini ya meza. Samia amepotea lakini Suluhu bado anasumbua. Let's talk about TZ, my favorite storyteller. You have been talking about it. Ni watu wamenitoa tu kwa hiyo. Unajua, they say your client is always right. Now on YouTube, your followers and supporters are always right. They guide you how your story will go. You left NTV. What are you doing now? Where are you? Stories. I left NTV in 2018. Went to Citizen. Worked at Citizen for 2 years, then left. Went to CGTN, where I still work. I still work at CGTN, but I also run my YouTube channel. It's called The Kenyan Historian. You're always the best. Kindly bring us an update on the Thiba Dam series you did, I think 3 years ago. Thiba Dam, okay. It's a thing. I will ask the guys if they can give us permit to go on. You don't just walk there. Thank you so much. It's a critical infrastructure, so lazima upate permission. All that I hope is that the Kenyan government is taking note so that this chaos happening in TZ doesn't happen to Kenya in 2017. Yeah, chaos are not good, by the way. I've seen what has happened to Sudan. Yeah, shit, let me tell you, it's bad. Sudan is bad. It was like crippled. Those things cripple a nation. I love your show, Sana. When possible, please create questions for Mr. Lee and visit him. I feel he has a lot, probably most helpful to those of us, you are students. I did with Mr. Lee, but wait, there's one that is coming up, which is he's still in. So wait for a documentary that is coming up. Then, yeah, it's always good. I still go to them. I will still go to them as you advise, by the way. So to get more info, many these stories you can never finish. There are many stories. Tuongee mambo ya Samia Josuluhu. Thank you for your advice. Provided there is money to be made. Money to be made one day. Yeah, inasonganga polepole na inafunguka polepole. Sisi haijafunguka, but one day itafunguka. We are hoping that very soon, it will be very soon. I do local travel content and show people places and development. Yeah, and that one is a good one. I just keep it rolling. Keep the thing I normally say is that for what I normally do is every day I ask myself if I've improved or not. So the best thing is to try and improve kila wakati. Yeah. Munishi Faustin, na kuona Munishi, mambo vipi? Habari ya Tanzania. Nimeona video yako, lakini nimeona bana. Hata najua ukiuliza mumefika Tanzania imefika hapo vipi. Yeah, unajua kukiwa na watu wakiona kama wanafinyika kila wakati. Unajua when you press even a balloon one day, you press na upulize unawekea pressure, it can burst. So that is what actually is happening in Tanzania. It has been building up. And you see, when you lock people up, these political leaders have supporters. And most of them have big numbers. You see, those big numbers is what now bring the problem. We've seen it in Kenya. We've seen it many times. We've seen it happen. So maybe Tanzania is experiencing a phase that could change the politics of Tanzania for the years to come. Let's wait and see. Let's hope that it doesn't go the way other African countries go. One thing about Kenya is that sometimes we are on the edge, but then just something happens and it turns around. It has been our, let's say it has been the story of Kenya for many years that have come and gone. Like sometimes we see like the countries are almost on the edge, like we are burning, and then just something happens and we are back on track. And most of the times after that, things change for the better. So we don't know what will happen in Tanzania. Let's just hope that it doesn't go beyond, it doesn't lead to what is happening in some of the African countries like Sudan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and the rest. Yeah, let's just hope. Aya. Wamewacha kutangaza Watanzania waenda hadi TCB na uchaguzi imewacha kutangazwa alipotea na ndege. Are you still at CCTV? Yes, I still work there. What is the story behind Sudan and UAE? I had explained earlier before you asked this question. The Sudan and UAE, it was not an allegation from Sudan. It was an allegation that, first of all, was made by the United Nations. The United Nations does its own research, and it said that they had evidence, or they had reports that UAE was supplying ammunition and was supporting the rapid RSF, Rapid Support Forces. That one is led by Hemedi. And then you see the army, the Sudanese army led by Hamdan. Dagalo, not Dagalo, Dagalo is Hemedi. The other one is who, the name has disappeared. Let's say the army general, Burhan. So Burhan went with what, and goes by what the UN said, that UAE is supplying. Now, this one became a regional conflict. I remember RSF also accused Egypt of bombing its troops. And today as we speak, El Fasher is on fire. El Fasher in West Darfur is on fire, and Kordofan, lot of fightings and everything now. RSF have taken over. You remember there were a lot of burnings and everything. Houses were torched. You look at it and you are like, oh, we hope that not many African countries go that way. You look at the African continent, everywhere you look, there is a conflict. Everywhere you look, there is a conflict. Actually, we are not doing well as a continent. Looking at it, we are not doing well. Aya, kuna mtu anasema Sudan is a massacre. I saw women laying in trenches. So Sudan is a massacre, as you say. Sudan is bad. If you happen to meet Ruto, mwambie lazima tumalize kile tulianza June 5th, 2024. Kuandamana na Kiswahili ni ngumu. Si ni maandamano tu. Kuandamana na Kiswahili. Oh, nimeelewa sasa wewe huko. Kuandamana na Kiswahili ni ngumu. You are quite informed journalist. Keep it up, brother. Thank you so much. There is also a racial issue in Sudan. Actually, what is coming up in Sudan that I've seen is now there is an anti-foreigner thing. If you're not a Sudanese, it becomes a problem. Now that is affecting the refugee thing, because you know the people who come in to help are not locals, they are foreigners. The ones who are helping refugees and everything. So it's becoming bad. If you happen to meet a Sudanese, they support the army, not the RSF. Yeah, because you know RSF. So most Sudanese actually support the army, the Burhan team. RSF are fire, but my friend, those guys, they've maimed people. But sasa walikuja wakaunda nini Kenya? Walikuja wakaunda parallel government, but it did not nini. Do you offer video journalistic incubation program? Sijaielewa hiyo ndio gani. My best media personnel. Asante sana Gishuki, asante sana brother. Thank you so much. Those on TikTok, mumeachia 3.3. Si tuendelee kulike. Tuchambulie Samia Suluhu hapo YouTube. Relax inasija. Pap. Lakini najua sitakanyaga Tanzania tena. After that, Tanzania siingi. Was the best. I still watch today. Thank you so much. Such a great piece. Actually, we are trying to improve on such. We are trying to see how we can make them better. When I grow up, I want to be Rambo Kanambo. What do you mean? Did the CIA really pin Jomo and Oginga Odinga together? The CIA that I know is that it's the one that put asunder the two. You know, when Kenya became independent, at that time Kenya was becoming independent, the Cold War, you remember the West versus the East was rife. So Kenya took the non-aligned course. Remember the non-alignment movement. So what most of our ambassadors were being told whenever they were told to, like, say we are non-aligned, not to push agendas of different, either the West or the East. But what the ambassadors of these strong countries, of the America, China, Russia were doing, is they are working on on Kenyan politicians. So they literally divided the Kenyatta cabinet into the West versus the East alliances, and that split the cabinet. Remember, so the CIA painted Jomo as, not painted Jaramogi as a deputy or a vice who did not support his boss. So that he was going against the wishes of Jomo Kenyatta, who was pro-West. I remember that. And they painted Oginga Odinga. But when you look at it, Oginga Odinga, when we talk to many people who are there, they say yes, and he appeared to work and he had friends in the East, but in all essence, Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was not a socialist. That's what they say. They say Jaramogi Oginga Odinga was a proper capitalist. So those who are there, they say that. Probably I may not have. I wish I had met Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, but I was very young. I was in lower primary school when he died. So I wish I had met him. But the people I've talked to, they worked closely with Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, and they tell that story of how the CIA put asunder Jomo Kenyatta and his vice. But also, there were many things that came up when you look at that particular period. It's not just Jaramogi who resigned. Yeah? Even the second vice president, Kenya's second vice president, the little known. Many people, I went to the street and I asked many people, who was Kenya's second vice president? They were like, Mzee Daniel Arap Moi. I'm like, Daniel Arap Moi. Now, in fact, when Daniel Arap Moi became vice president, he was young. He was in his 40s, and I think so. Was it 40s? Yeah, I think so. Because Daniel Arap Moi, what many people don't know, is Daniel Arap Moi was Kenya's youngest president. He was very young when he became president until Uhuru Kenyatta. So right now, Daniel Arap Moi is Kenya's second youngest president ever. He became president aged 53 in 1978. So he was young, he was literally young when he became president. So when he was vice president, he was young. But then back to the story. Looking at it, Kenya was young, and the US and the West was not ready to lose the young nation, the young independent nation, to the East. So they did all they could to get rid of Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. And when you look at it, all the constitutional amendments that happened during that time, if you remember very well, before Jaramogi resigned, and through Tom Mboya, there was an amendment in 1965. An amendment that changed the constitution, and when we are talking about the succession, in the event, because at that particular time, Jomo Kenyatta was aged, and many people knew that soon or later, Jomo Kenyatta was going to die. So the succession battles were there, though behind the scenes and hidden. Because you remember at that particular time, thinking the death of Jomo Kenyatta was criminal. So In 1965, the constitution is changed. And this is why it was changed. Because in the event of the death of Jomo Kenyatta, who becomes president, the vice president, at that particular time, the constitution was very clear. The second in command was to inherit, to succeed. But in 1965, through Tom Mboya, I believe the West was also involved. They changed the constitution to say that in the event of the death of the president, it was not necessarily mandatory that the sitting vice president takes over. And in the case of a vacancy in the office of the president, they made it that it's not mandatory. So what they did was that any member of the cabinet, what they said was that any member of the cabinet was eligible to become the president. So it means like something they will vote or something like that. Vote and they decide on who becomes the president. And you look at that particular time, now Jaramogi is locked out. The whole essence was to lock out Jaramogi and his chances of inheriting, succeeding Mzee Jomo Kenyatta in the event of a vacancy in the office of the president. So what happens, they change the constitution. And then when Jaramogi resigns, who is picked? The little known, okay, it was not little, no, it was known. Yeah. It was a friend of Jomo Kenyatta, the Asian Maasai. Who? Joseph Murumbi. Joseph Zuzate Murumbi is picked by Jomo Kenyatta as the vice president. So at this particular time, what were the validation of picking him? Looking at, Jomo Kenyatta was looking at a man who would not challenge him. And you see, to challenge a president, since then and up to date, to challenge a president, to challenge the authority, you needed numbers. So the numbers come from then and up to today. They come from your community, the community that you come from. If they have the numbers, you already have a starting point. Uko na kalibu pale mbele. Even today, no one should lie to you. So Joseph Zuzate Murumbi, if you remember very well, he had tried to play Maasai, even bought land in Maasai, in Narok, the land that now is occupied by the President William Ruto. It's actually the land that Joseph Murumbi bought, and when he came back from India, that is before independence. So he had played Maasai, but haikushika. So he had no strong community backing. So he did not that, and the Kenyatta and his handlers saw Murumbi as non-competitive, a person who did not harbor more ambition than the president, who did not harbor the ambitions of becoming the president of Kenya, and had no numbers or community that will give him the big head, like the big head that Jaramogi was perceived to have, of challenging Kenyatta. So they were looking at a man who could easily follow into the orders and commands of the president. But Murumbi did not stay long. He only took 6 months in the office and also resigned. Murumbi had his own reasons. The biggest was corruption, and he felt that Jomo Kenyatta and his team and his cronies were not doing what they signed up for when they were elected by the people. And number two, he saw now the issue of political assassination had started during the Jomo Kenyatta, because now Jomo Kenyatta was just using the blueprints of and the rules and how the colonialists were, let me say the playbook that the colonialists were using to force Africans, to bend Africans to their will. He was now using it in the post-colonial government. And so Joseph Murumbi, now, after the assassination of his friend and mentor, who was Pio Gamapinto. Remember, it's Pio Gamapinto who introduced Joseph Murumbi to politics. And he had been assassinated. And Joseph Murumbi saw, oh, hapana, si maneno si yenye tulitaka, hatukusaina for it. So he went to Mombasa at Jomo Kenyatta's holiday home and told him, I quit. Vincent Githinji, welcome. Asante sana, karibu sana wala mmeingia. And that hapo na hapo, Joseph Murumbi resigned. So here CIA, the biggest part that I know the CIA played is on the split that happened between Jomo Kenyatta and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. But in my next documentary, we will learn on how the CIA created the presidents. The CIA created the presidents. Some of the CIA and the church, the missionaries and CIA, including CIA and including the British colonial government, created the leaders we had from the onset. So it's coming very soon. Keep watching and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That one will be big. It will be big. It has things that you never had, things that probably you had but you did not look deeper into them. So we are looking deeper into them to give you and make you understand how we were independent, but we were not independent. You get, we were independent on paper, but in actual power, we were not independent. And you will see, because we are going deep and just bringing out some of these stories. Ooh, they are heading to handshake. Are you an Oxycolia? Yes, I am an Oxycolia. And I am the Kenyan historian. I am an Oxycolia and I am the Kenyan historian. I am TV47 reporter Kericho. Wish to strengthen human interest story. How will I? First of all, you do research and keep doing, because they say when you do it, you are as good as your last story. So keep doing them, keep pitching, keep doing, keep watching other stories that have been done by your colleagues in media, our colleagues, Kenyan, foreigners, the documentaries they've done. Learn one or two skills about production, skills about storytelling. Because when it comes to TV, it's more or less about your voice. So people don't care about your voice, how you sound. People care about the stories you're telling. People care about the voices you're putting out. And number two, people care about the pictures that you have. So for TV, for YouTube, it's about the pictures you get. It's about the stories you tell, not your voice. Your voice ni supplement tu. But hata ukakuwa na voice mbaya bado na nini. Thanks, asante sana Ongeri, for joining in. Your best documentaries, please. They're there on YouTube. Me, I can't tell which one is my best. I think sometimes I like get in love with what I've done. So sometimes I may not tell you. And you can tell me. You can tell me which documentary did you watch and you loved. Someone has the reporter should do the state of our forests. The ban was lifted after depleting of. Yeah, we will check on that. There is one that idea that I have. We will check. Moja Julius Nyerere mkuu. Yeah, it's good. But now kwenda Tanzania ni ngumu. but tutafanyia tu hapa Kenya. Tutajaribu tu tufanyia hapa Kenya ile tutaweza. Asante sana guys. 3.8 tufikishe ile 4000. Nilikuwa nimeomba tu 4000 wakuu. Asante sana. Thank you so much. The Kenyan historian ako na history ya Kenya kwa fingertips. Asante. Huwa tunajaribu tu kusoma na kuuliza wale walikuwa. You see, the best way of telling stories is you get knowing these stories, you get to sit down with people who are there. They tell you what happened, and you read more, you research more. Always looking forward to your work. Vincent Githinji. Mambo Vincent. John Kariuki says hi. John Kariuki, mambo vipi hali? Ya baba nayo iliweza. Thank you so much. Is your name Eliaf or Eliap? Thank you so much. Mmesema moja ya Julius Nyerere. Asante sana. Content vipi? Iko poa, tunajaribu kutoa tena, tunajaribu kuongeza. Asante sana. Pure Lumumba can be a good historian too. Get more stories from him too. I tried to him. Let me not say. Some of these people were read. Nilipigia mwingine akaniambia, I don't know you. Nikamwambia, but I've introduced myself. I didn't tell you should know me. I told you what I do and who I am and what I'm looking for. Nakaniambia, but I don't know you. Yeah, it happens. So just move on. It's someone who is very good, you know, that he can tell you many stories. But sasa kama anasema kujui, ya anatakanga interview na watu wanamjua anawajua peke yao. So tufanyaje? How comes your YouTube videos are super clear? As you do, maybe me uploading to kawaida because I film in 4K, most of them. Very few are on HD, so they are only on 4K and HD. By the way, I tell people, when you are watching my documentaries, make sure you select 4K. They will be actually, because most of the people watch on HD and they don't know. There is a place where you can go and select 4K. You will have super crispy videos. Hello, do the one for President Mugani. If it's William Ruto, I've already done one already when how he became president, so you can check that one out. Leslie, you can check. I've done one for Ruto. If you check there, you can find. I've done like 2 or 3 documentaries on William Ruto. I've done a documentary 2 or 3 on Uhuru Kenyatta. But as I said before you came in, we are trying also to retell them in a different way. Tunajaribu. So asante sana Leslie. Thank you so much Leslie. Appreciated. Kuna mtu hapa anaitwa Golf. Hello. I am also educated with your history. I request one for the power of crowd in political. Oh yeah, crowd. Hey, my friend. When watch our campaigns zishike moto, alafu tutatel here, because it's good when you tell through campaigns, but it's very nice. Rare earth Masakadi. Sijaelewa hiyo Mr. Masakadi ama sijajua kama wacha tu niseme Masakadi. Christine, thank you so much for joining in. Many people have been joining today, lakini hizi likes ni kidogo. Kindly ongeza pale likes tuone, ongeza pale likes. Asante sana guys, thank you so much. Wale wa YouTube mliacha tu hapa likes mkasema hamtaki ku like hizi nini, na tunaona nikonaona tu mko wengi pale. Haki ya Mungu, asante sana, thank you so much. It was good catching up. I have to go. We've done 1 hour 30 minutes. 1 hour 30 minutes. I hope sijawachosha na maneno yangu mingi. Ile kitu pale University Massacre ulipiga hatari. Thank you so much. Asante sana La Bista. Are you better on your own? I'm employment iko better. I do both. For now I do both. So nikishatoka ndo nitajua. Maisha ni magumu saa hii, unashika hapa. Ukiachilia moja saa hii unaona moto. Na fees zinaongezeka sijui nini. Asante. Ninangoja tu tufike tu pap 1 hour 30 minutes then I sign out. I've never been to Turkana, but the documentary that you did was perfecto. Erastus Kambogo, asante sana Erastus, appreciated. Tunajaribu, soon and very soon, if we get, I told those who have been here for long, na your live since tuanze, I had told them that we are looking for funds, we've been looking for partners, but wengine wanahepa, but we hope that one day tutapata, but unaona hiyo ya Turkana, itakuwa ni amateur, because the ideas now we have itakuwa amazing perfecto. Asante sana. And we, with money, with the funds, we'll be able to bring in even people who will try to help us, because sahi tuna hustle napambana, unachoka nini. So with tukisha Ivana tutakuwa na many people who can come in and help us improve. Hiyo ya Ruto ilininspire sana. Up to now I see him differently. I see him as a determined go-getter. Thank you so much, Kevin. Asante sana. Can you do a documentary about NSSF Nyayo Estate Embakasi versus Mugoya Construction and Engineering? Mugoya hiyo, at least hii NSSF Nyayo Estate naijua, hii Mugoya ndio sijaelewa. See, I've never hii Mugoya ni gani? Plumber and hardware. Hii Mugoya I have no clue. But hii ya nini inaitwa aje? Ya Nyayo najua at least kitu. Asante, appreciated Enoch. Asante kazi safi. Asante sana Erico Sanchez. Appreciated too. Nashukuru sana. Habari ya jioni Waweru. Anthony Waweru. Vipi? Mimi nipo hii town. Napambana tunatafuta unga. Lakini pia the biggest thing is nataka kutell hizo stories. The stories that I want to tell. Naomba tu Mungu siku moja nifungulie vile naomba hivyo nipate at least some organizations or some companies that we can partner and just tell some of the stories that I have ideas on. Itakuwa moto sana, because the ideas I have, and it's like 47 episodes. Kitu kali. Kindly do one for informal settlement. Rao 001. Hiyo iko ni kama uliingia kwa kichwa yangu. I've been thinking of how I can do that story, but I have an idea. Soon and very soon. Maybe hata itafika next year. Tutakuwa na kitu. Kile shiti anasemanga kali, kitu noma. Asante sana wale mumelike leo, nashukuru sana. Thank you for the love, guys. Thank you for watching. Always watching. Hiyo ya State House bado haijaisha, lakini hata wajanipatia access. Nataka wanipatie access, lakini bado nataka wanipatie access nipate picha tu hapo nifanye kitu. Lakini crew yangu washaenda nyumbani. Si mimi ndio unaona niko tu hapa ofisini, hao walishaenda, crew washaenda nyumbani. Mimi niko tu hapa ofisini nimaliziane, alafu nitembeze kiatu. Keep James Sango Thiongo. Asante sana guys. I love what you're doing. Asante sana. Amkalo anasema Sikolia. Asante sana Amkalo. How are you doing? Muko namna gani wenzangu? Nawashukuru sana. Leo nimepiga gumzo mpaka kichwa inauma. Next time I need to have people I can interchange with. Tunaongea na I had tried it, lakini kuna watu wengine wakaenda. Farmek Enterprise Limited. Anasema Felix anasema compile a story of the political journey of Tundu Lissu. Wacha Tundu Lissu atoke. I will try and see if I can get contact na hata kama ni Zoom, we do then we do a story. We pray you get access on State House. Yeah. Asante sana. I love naweza kufanyia website free. Bado sijafikiria mambo ya website but I would love to do one day. Natafuta pesa ndio niunde. Nikipata pesa I will make a website. Niko na idea of how I want it to look, but bado pesa ndio pesa zimekuwa finyu kidogo, because now you have money to produce, you know, until you now start having surpluses after you pay your crew and then everything, then now you can start now going websites, expanding, employing many people. I have an idea. My one of my main reason of starting my YouTube channel was to employ people. I was employed. I'm employed, so I would have just stayed comfortably and continue earning my money around. But I'm looking at a situation where if everyone who is employed and who can be able to start something somewhere and employ one or two people, we can employ our younger brothers, we can employ our people, do something in your line. If you are a lawyer, unafungua pata tu pesa, unafungua ka law firm, una employ not just lawyers. People think lawyers employ only lawyers. They employ researchers, they employ clerks, they employ in the office, front office. You see, if you are a doctor, you get some money, and then you fungua ka chemist pale, employ wawili. You see, songa like that we can reduce the employment. I know the government is supposed to do something, but now if it's going slowly, we can try and do something. So one of the reasons I started the Kenyan Historian was to do something that I can employ at least one or two people. And right now I'm not paying them much, but ile kidogo ile kidogo nashukuru, nafurahi when at the end of the month I can tell someone, I can wire someone some money to do something. I feel good. But I hope that I can even fika one day and do much, go bigger, do that and that. Someone is asking what motivated you to be telling Kenyan story. I just love telling stories. So, but I feel that we have stories that are yet to be told well. I haven't even myself, I cannot say that I've told them well. I believe that as we continue, we learn and we improve. So I'm looking at a future where now we can tell the stories together very well. Salkalpo, thank you so much. I know you're saying we can work together. For now, hata saa hii kulipa pale wengine nimefinyika, so with time, you never know. I never rule out things myself. That's why I say with time, tunaweza amua kuongeza watu, tunaweza amua tumepata more jobs, more things to do, and we will need hands. It's my belief that I will employ more people. Nax Vegas, habari ya Nax Vegas, Maina Kihurusia, how are you? I hope you're doing well, bro. Appreciated. Your support is highly appreciated. Asante sana, guys. I have now to go. Asante, nimekuwa kama pasta na maliza mara mbili. I'm only 2 minutes to finish. If you have something, asante sana, asante sana, asante sana. Those who have sent gifts, asante sana for the rose. Sifiwe Ntando, thank you so much. I really appreciate Sifiwe Ntando for the gift. Asante sana. Thank you, Maina, for following me. If you haven't followed me, tafadhali follow me on TikTok. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, kindly do that. Naomba tu kwa unyenyekevu. Okay. I know some people might be here who don't understand Swahili. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly, I'm asking you kindly, with all the kindness, that kindly, from the deepest part of my heart, I'm asking you to subscribe. Your numbers matter. Your support matters a lot. Thank you so much. Asante sana. Mumekuwa wangwana kwangu tangu nianze na hadi sasa. You've been so awesome. You've been so wonderful. Thank you so much. Zakalpo, you can inbox me on my WhatsApp, then we can talk. What happened? Maybe here we may not understand each other well. Just inbox me on my WhatsApp. On the line is on my profile on YouTube. The number is there, so you can inbox me. Kiki Maina, thank you so much for joining. Asante sana. Wale wameingia sasa hivi. Asante sana, guys. But now I have to leave. Thank you. It was a pleasure. 100 minutes. 100 minutes. Meaning more than 1 hour, 30 minutes. Roughly 1 hour. Roughly 1 hour, 40 minutes. Hey. Asante sana, guys. God bless you. Asante sana. Until next time. Ciao.